Hey fuckers, what's up? KoK Queen here, fashionably late as always, and with a late pick-me-up because it's been a really fucking long day, and you can never go wrong with a late cup of coffee. Especially when it has coconut milk in it. Anyway, yeah, you're gonna see a lot of this. Oh, when don't you guys? Yeah, fuck it, upload down there. Okay, so gonna try to make it short and sweet since I've noticed I've had a lot of success with the videos that tend to be under a half hour. Good questions. There are a few that have nothing to do with wrestling, since I decided to allow that this time. So there's not going to be too much jibber jabber. We're going to get right into it. And I might have a little bit of an announcement at the end. So, okay, so first question this time comes from the big black cock, Steel. Finally remembers, his forgetful ass finally remembers to put in a question. And he is asking, what are you looking forward to most during your WrestleMania 31 trip? Wow. A few things, actually. And I've gone on and on and on and on and on about this in the fucking group. But I used to live in the Bay Area. I actually spent a good portion of time, a good portion of time in San Jose. I actually moved to San Jose on my 18th birthday, which was September 10th, 2001. And we all know what happened the next day. So I just I went with gut instinct. I'm like, no, I need to get out of Florida on my 18th birthday exactly. Really glad I went with gut instinct on that one. But yeah, a lot of time spent around San Jose, especially downtown San Jose. It's my old stomping grounds. So it's my home away from home. So this is like a second home coming to me. And that's the thing I'm looking forward to most, is going back to some place that I loved and enjoyed so much. Obviously, I'm going to be spending a day in San Francisco. One of my best friends might be flying in just to see me, since it's maybe like $45 in an hour worth of your time to fly from Burbank or LAX to San Jose. It's like ridiculously cheap. You'd be shocked. So I'll get to see her. I'm going to be hanging out with Stinnett and Kristen, so it's going to be fun to finally meet some other members of KoK other than people from Michigan, because I think I've literally only met one member offline, Brian Boggs, at a Fozzy show last year at the Machine Shop. Most other members of KoK that I know are people I invited in and people I work with, actually, so I see them on a daily basis, so old news. So yeah, getting to go home. Getting chili cheese fries at Johnny Rocket, going to the San Jose Museum of Art to see my favorite art piece, which actually is mixed media, and it's huge, and it incorporates broken glass and barbed wire that was taken from Auschwitz and Bergen-Belsen. So there's a lot of history to it, because I'm also I'm an art museum freak. I'm kind of a hippie. Kind of hoping I can go to Berkeley because I miss Telegraph Road. I haven't been, and I don't miss the smell of piss from all the bums and all the students, but I miss Berkeley. So obviously I'm excited about WrestleMania, but it's home. And it freaking figures my second WrestleMania ever, and once again it's in California, because the first one was WrestleMania 12 out in Anaheim, which was my first trip to California. So yeah, it's gonna be nice to go home, and then come right back to Michigan. Not that exciting. But yeah, that's what one of the things I'm looking forward to most, besides meeting some Cult of Kayfabe members and harassing the living fuck out of a few people that weekend. So, as you know me, ever the troll. Thanks, Steel, and let us know if we're picking you up any souvenirs, by the way. Get on it, because we got about less than 3 weeks now. 2 weeks, I think. Next question comes from Charles. Hi, Charles. If WWE keeps Undertaker off the screen until WrestleMania 31, and considering he lost last year and the streak ended, what chance does Bray Wyatt have of winning? He has a huge chance, because I feel, and this seems to be the general consensus, Bray is basically, they're ushering in Bray. This is going to be like a passing of the torch. Like Edge passed the torch torch to Rollins. Cena is probably getting ready to pass the torch to, he'll eventually pass it to Reigns. I feel like this is a passing of the torch to White. He's going to be our mystic, our new generation's mystic, otherworldly. I mean, yeah, he lost last year to Cena, which was just really bad booking all around, but I think he's recovered really well. I mean, obviously, that feud he had with Ambrose, which, well, it could have been better done. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it could have definitely been better done. It was a good transitional feud to make him look strong. Everybody's favorite catchphrase. And it did. It's made him look very strong. And also, when a wrestler is about to go out, very, 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 very rare. Better not hit my laptop. Very rarely does a wrestler ever go out on top. It's tradition for the person leaving to lose. One of the very few exceptions I can think of in recent years has been Edge. He won his WrestleMania match against Alberto Del Rio in 2011, and then a few days later he had to announce his retirement. And that was a total fucking fluke. Nobody saw that coming. So, obviously there's going to be exceptions to the rule, but I see Bray walking out the winner. I see a final burial for the Undertaker, and then of course next year in Dallas he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. Now who's going to induct him? I have no idea. Totally see Kane. Well, Kane obviously, but if not Kane or his wife, no fucking clue. But I mean, if Bray doesn't win this one, then Jesus Christ, what the hell else are you going to do with them? Shuffle him down to mid-card? Mid-card's got enough people, so yeah, he's got a really good chance. Thanks, Charles. AJ, shit starter, staying out of trouble for once. I'm very surprised. What have you got up your sleeve? He asks, what moment made you realize wrestling was fake? I was about 9 or 10. I had to be told. I didn't actually realize it. I've been living with my mom, and I would go spend the weekend at my dad's, and, I'd come back all excited. Oh my God, wrestling, blah, blah, You know how kids get. And at that time, at this one particular point in time, I believe, actually no, by this time I lived with my dad, and I would go and visit my mom on the weekends. And my mom was living with her parents at the time. She was in a weird transitional phase. We Irving women tend to do that in our 30s. Anyway, I come home and I'm all excited and I'm telling my grandpa we did this, we watched that, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you actually watched that crap. And of course, I'm a kid. Wrestling isn't crap, blah, blah, blah. It's fake. And I was like, wait, what? And he explained, oh, the hits aren't real and this isn't real. And of course, I'm a kid and I know better, obviously. Kids always know better. We always know everything when we're younger, don't we? So, try to call my grandpa out on his BS. And then my mom backed him up, which just infuriated me even more because I'm a fucking hothead child. And then the next time I'm with my dad and I brought that up and I'm all smug, but we know better, right, Dad? And Dad's just like, well, I don't know if you've ever seen that episode of How I Met Your Mother. It's this episode where whenever the characters were realizing something about someone or someone else or themselves, and just like their perceptions just got shattered, you just hear glass breaking in the background and this look of realization and horror on their face. Yeah, it was kind of like that. I was just like, and then glass breaking. Not like Stone Cold-esque. More like glass breaking and heart shattering. And then I started paying close attention and I realized, yeah, the bump and stiffness of bumps and all that fun stuff. Of course, it wasn't until later on I learned the difference between fake and predetermined. So, one can hardly argue that it's fake when necks are getting broken and people are dying and people are actually set on fire and teeth are going up through noses. So, yeah, please, I'm sure someone tell Mick Foley that it's fake. See how he reacts. Thank you, AJ. Stay out of trouble. Clay, the second best Georgian in the group. Maybe the first, depending on the day of the week, or the time of the day, or how I feel about my boyfriend. Who walks out of WrestleMania as champion? Roman. Whether we like it or not, Roman. And the only reason I say that is, obviously Rollins is getting the belt. It's just a matter of Mania or Raw after. My nose is dry. The only reason I kind of hope, the only reason I strongly feel it's going to be Rollins walking out of Raw after Mania with the championship belt, the only reason I would even want that 1% chance that Rollins closes out Mania with that belt, so I can actually see it live, because I don't have a ticket into Raw. I'm still gonna figure out what the hell I'm gonna do about that. I don't want to sit in a fucking bar watching that shit. I'm gonna be there, and I can't because shit went on sale back in December and rent was due, so I couldn't, and I didn't even know. So even if I did know that tickets were on sale and sold out, I won't pay anything anyway because I was broke. So it sucks to be me. But yes, Roman. Which is why everybody's making him look strong. Chris. Oh, thank you, Clay. Chris. First non-related wrestling question. Are you afraid of the dark or Goosebumps? Which do you like better and why? Goosebumps was entertaining. I enjoyed it as a kid, but honestly, for as much as I love reading, obviously, and of course with writing also, you kind of have to be a reader in order to be a writer. I have to go with Are You Afraid of the Dark, just because Are You Afraid of the Dark was something I had more access to, because we were a household in which TV was the babysitter. It was going 24/7, just about. And also, Goosebumps were a really hot commodity at my school, so very rarely could I ever get my hands on Goosebumps at the library. People are always checking it out. And my parents never really bought me books. It was more my crazy ass stepmother who didn't really want me having books. Like, I literally got grounded from reading at least 5 or 6 times when I was a teenager. I'm kidding, a teenager. Don't ask. The bitch is crazy. But yeah, Are You Afraid of the Dark simply by default because that's what I had access to. Plus, also, for as much as I like reading and how vivid my imagination gets, TV, movies, and everything just emphasizes so much more. So, thank you, Chris. Bill, what is the record for most banishments by the Banhammer in a 24-hour period in this group? That is classified information, and if I told you, I'd have to kill you. No, honestly, I have no clue. I mean, I personally have not, I've actually not banned that many people since becoming an admin. I've probably only, let's see, I've been an admin since August, and I've probably only banned about, I'd say at most 15, 20 people. I know Steele's probably banned a fuck ton of them, Robert, Ian, and Luis, just because, Ian aside, those are the ones that tend to be online the most. Corey has his life and is never on a laptop because he can't operate a computer because he's so fucking backwoods. Love you, Corey. Stinnet's always on his phone too, but Stinnet's got a lot of shit going on. Or usually on his phone. Frank is off doing his own thing with frog legs and cheese and wine and graphic design. Ryder's doing his own thing because he's got family too, and you know, hey, time differences. So I can't necessarily speak for the records. I'd say if we narrow it down to the main 4, I guarantee it's Steele and Robert are neck and neck for the most bans. I would not be able to tell you. I guarantee is probably gonna have to do a lot with the incidences that they've had with Lex Expressors. And of course, you know, recently with the invasion of the trolls from that one group that decided to also start the anti-KoK page. So, I don't have exact numbers, but probably a huge series of banhammers occurred in those time periods. So, and I wasn't around for Lex Express. Actually, I was only around for the anti Cult of Kayfabe page, which, well, I'm the one who kind of triggered that, so I'll bite the bullet on that one. So, As long as you're not one of the ones in the Banhammer, it's not something you really have to worry about. Classified. Thank you. Antonio the Filthy Perro asks, what are some cool items in your wrestling collection? I have a wrestling collection? What? Mine's minute. Mine's like infinitesimal. It's like pathetic compared to probably a bunch of other people's. I mean, Stints and Corey's and God knows who else. I mean, my DVD collection is pretty small. I have the Bret Hart one, the CM Punk one, both of Edge's, Ambrose's Final Indie Match DVD, the Shield documentary, and all those other DVDs that came with it, and that 5-disc John Moxley set that is basically nothing but death matches. Don't really have much in the way of magazines. With the Bret Hart DVD came like a magazine about Bret. So I have that. A PWI from 2012 where Punk won for Best Wrestler. The one from last year with Daniel Bryan. The PWI. Or was it PWI? There's one of them. Or no, PWI Top 500 for Punk in 2012. Top 500 last year with Daniel Bryan. And then one that just came out that has Lesnar in it. Like Charlotte won Rookie of the Year. That one. Just got that this weekend. Oh, and I have a CrossFit one that has to do with that Rollins was the cover story. The cover, he was on the cover, and the main story was about Rollins. Steele sent me that. Hey, KDT, still want it? Oh, these. It has these. Story behind these. I was dating a guy for a hot minute back in October 2013. And while I was over at his house one day, he had gotten a message from the the landlord of the house, saying that there was like a bunch of toys and stuff in the basement that he could do whatever he wanted with. So we went through the toys, and I kid you not, it was like boxes upon boxes of wrestling figures. Most of them were trash and you couldn't really do shit. And there were a lot of the same ones. And I'm like looking through, and I see this Bret one, and I'm like, oh, cool, I have to have that one. And then I see this one. It's the Owen one. And we actually had, like, this series we actually had in my house growing up. We had one with Sean, we had one with Bret, we had one with a few. And I had to have the Owen one because, I mean, it's Owen. He was a friend of the family, so I'm just like, you know, nostalgic purposes. So I'm like, oh, mine! Oh, mine! And these are like the only ones I gave a shit about, so I have these. So, and I don't have it in my possession yet. I'm still bugging my dad about it, and I'm hoping I can get a hold of him and get it either before Mania or before I go to Rock on the Range. I'm supposed to be going to Rock on the Range in May to cover it. Supposedly, my dad has no reason to lie, supposedly, we actually have in our possession, he's got it in storage, which is why I fucking want this, in actual, like, 100% legitimate, not a replica, WWE, or it would be, at this point, WWF Heavyweight Championship belt. Signed by Owen. Like, 100% real deal. And I'm sure that if I post it online and I post it on WWE's timeline, that will be the one thing that will make them actually respond and go, where the hell did you get that? Now, this remains to be seen. Still bugging my dad to get it out of storage, but my dad, like me, is a bitch to get a hold of. So, one day, if I can get him to give it to me, I will take a picture and I will post it in the group. Until then, this is alleged, this is supposedly, this is, I don't know. And again, my dad has no reason to lie to me, so hoping this is the real thing, because if it is and I get my hands on this and I keep it, I am putting so much insurance on it. But yeah, those are some things in my that's my wrestling collection, and that's also what I want in my wrestling collection, because that would be like the ultimate. Thank you, Antonio. Now go learn about Microsoft Word and what it actually is, and no copy and pasting. Hashtag inside joke. And ooh, 10 minutes. Awesome. I'm making good time. And the last question comes from Ed. If you were a wrestler and had full control of your character, which means, i.e., I would not be in WWE, what would your name be? Gimmick, entrance, theme song, manager. No manager. I go alone. I fly solo. Name, Elise Fields. Alrighty, Elise Fields. And Elise Fields actually is sort of a play on words, derived from Elysian Fields. And what Elysian Fields, if you're familiar with mythology, what's the best way I can explain it? I'm gonna need to wiki this shit actually. So, real quick. Elysian Fields, Elysium, kind of the same thing. If you've ever watched Gladiator, then you'll know what I mean. I can't type. Elysian Fields. Which, yeah, is derived from Elysium. And what Elysium, or the Elysian Fields, is a concept of the afterlife that was developed over time and maintained by certain Greek religious and philosophical sects and cults. So, basically, it was supposed to be their version of heaven. So, it'd be kind of off of that. But I would be anything but heavenly. Gimmick. Actually, that's the funny thing, because before I saw Paige and what she was, the character and the gimmick I envisioned was very much like Paige. I guess it'd be like a mashup between... I don't want to say it's a mashup between AJ and Paige. She would... Oh, God. She would channel some of Paige, she would channel some of Lita, and the fact that, I mean, ideally, if we're coming up with this idealized version, then obviously the idealized version of me is a hell of a lot taller than I am now, a hell of a lot bigger than I am now, definitely more womanly. But, I mean, I see how Lita used to, like, I mean, a Hurricanrana off Edge that just freaking whipped him across the ring, and how she had no qualms getting involved with matches with guys. She took on Dean Malenko. I like that version. I like that. I would want to be that. So, I guess a less punk version of Lita, definitely more metal. I mean, Paige is more emo goth. I mean, I'm like talking straight up. I've got the chains. Probably my hair would maybe be like this. Really dark makeup. And piercings all over. Infinitely more tattoos than I have now. And you're wanting to know about the entrance. I mean, I'm not doing any of the girly shit. I'm not shaking my ass. I'm not doing... I mean, even Paige's, like, unzipping and this, it's like, eh. No, I mean, Becky Lynch actually has a good one. I like Becky's. I like the idea of coming out and just kind of headbanging. Actually, you know what? Watch Butcher Babies on stage, and you'll get kind of an idea of, like, how I would dress and what I would act like. Theme song actually would be... I'm always bouncing back and forth on this, but I always keep going back to Butcher Babies. I Smell a Massacre. I really like that. There's a few songs on their most recent album that I really like, or In This Moment. I can't say Black Widow because somebody already has that nickname, but I like the idea of coming out to Black Widow or Sex Metal Barbie, which I initially said Paige should come out to, but if she didn't, I would. I would be very, very no-nonsense, very no-holds-barred. I'd be the kind of crazy that Ambrose should be. The kind of methodical crazy. So, I guess, like, fuck it. I'd be a female version of Edge. There you go. Because he was methodical crazy. There's just so many different ideas. It's hard to describe and keep it within the half-hour time constraint. Let's just say that, yeah, I would look like total fucking metal. Not too much far from, fuck it, I don't look metal, I just listen to metal. I look like a fucking dork. So, but hopefully that answers your question, Ed, and thank you for that. And how many minutes do I got? Yay! Still got 6 minutes. So, this is an idea I'm debating on, so don't hold me to it, but time permitting, during Mania, during that weekend, I was thinking of maybe, possibly, and you know, I'll touch up more on it in the days leading up to Mania. And I gotta talk to Stinnet and Kristen about it. Definitely Stinnet. But I was thinking of maybe doing a live stream, if anybody's interested. Maybe a live stream Q&A. I mean, again, if you guys are up for that. I mean, with more of the focus probably on Stinnet and Kristen, since, you know, I already have this going. If you guys are down for that, definitely give some feedback. If not, that's cool too. It's just an idea I'm throwing around. Just kind of get a little more interactive, as opposed to just the threads and everything, especially since it's Mania and, you know, everybody's going to be logging on early. They usually start the Mania threads pretty early, so yeah, I'll let you guys know in the next week or so. But regardless of whether that happens or not, this is the March edition of Ask the KoK Queen. And you guys behave, and don't forget, tune in for NXT. It's starting in a little bit. If you haven't been watching, what the fuck are you waiting for? Get on it. Fuck the boycotting the network shit. Watch NXT, because you're the fuckers that are missing out. Not us, not anybody else. You're not. Yeah, just go watch it. But behave, and don't make me use the banhammer on you assholes, and I will see you in the group.